Hello, my name is Raju. I am working as a lecturer in ECE in Government Polytechnic for Women, Warangal. In this lecture, we discuss about series RLC circuits, Kirchhoff laws, and basics of network topology. This is very important for the problem solving process. Mostly in this lecture, Kirchhoff laws is very important. These are two types: Kirchhoff current law, Kirchhoff voltage law. If you want to solve any problem, we must use these two laws in any circuit. So very important, Kirchhoff current laws. Next one, in the first topic, we go to the RLC series circuit. We previously discussed about series RL circuits and RC circuits, and also we draw the phasor diagram for series RL circuit and RC circuit, and we find the impedance, current in each element and voltage in each element, and also we find power and voltage equations, current equations, like that. In this series RLC circuit also we discuss about all these topics. So in this series RLC circuit, the RLC components are in series. That means one end of the element is connected to the starting of the another element, starting end of the another element. So here R, L, C are in series with applying voltage. We know here voltage and currents are, these two values are RMS values. Voltage is RMS value, current also RMS value. Because these are alternating quantities, we take the values in RMS value. Here we apply the voltage. We know V equal Vm sin omega t in series RLC circuit. Here when we apply the voltage V, the current flows is I. The current flowing I. Then voltage across each element is across resistor VR, across inductor VL, across capacitor VC. We know basic Ohm's law, V equal to IR. Here VR equal to IR, VL equal to IXL. Here XL is reactance of the inductor. VL equal to IXL. Next VC equal to IXC. Here XC is reactance of the capacitor. XL is equal to omega L, XC is equal to 1 by omega C. That means XL is equal to 2 pi FL, XC is equal to 1 by 2 pi FC. These two are frequency dependent elements, L and C. Then here voltage V equal to, the resultant voltage V equal to under root of VR plus VL minus VC whole square. Here we draw the phasor diagram with reference to I. VL is I in VL circuit, I lags. In VC circuit, I leads. If you as in phase, VR is in phase with the I. VR is in phase with the I. When we draw the phasor diagram, if VL greater than VC, we assume VL greater than VC, then resultant voltage is equal V equal under root of VR square plus VL minus VC whole square. If we assume VC greater than VL, then VC greater than VL, then and voltage V equal to under root of VR square plus Vc minus VL whole square. So in that way, if any element dominates, if L dominates, V equal to under root of VR square plus VL minus Vc whole square. If C dominates, C value is more, then voltage V equal to under root of VR square plus Vc minus VL whole square. So here two cases is there. Then here V equal to under root of IR square plus IXL minus IXC whole square. Then here I is common, V equal to I into under root of R square plus XL minus XC whole square. So by K Ohm's law, current I equal to V by Z. Current I equal to V by Z. Current I equal to V by under root of R square plus XL minus XC whole square. So here voltage is under root of VR square plus VL minus VC square, and current I equal to V by under root of R square plus XL minus XC whole square. Then impedance equal here in series RL RC circuit, impedance is equal to Z is equal to simply under root of R square plus XL square, or Z equal to under root of R square plus XC square. But it is the combination of two components XL and XC. If XL dominates, that is XL greater than XC, then impedance Z equal to under root of R square plus XL minus XC whole square. That is impedance. Next one, here phase angle. Phase angle means that is the phase difference between voltage and current. V and I, phase angle pi equal to tan pi equal to VL minus VC by R. That means XL minus XC by R. VL minus VC by R equal to XL minus XC by R. Two equations is there. Pi equal to tan inverse XL minus XC by R. This is the phase difference between voltage and current. This may be leading or lagging. If L dominates, current lags the voltage. If C dominates, current leads the voltage. Two cases is there. If L dominates, current lags the voltage. If C dominates, current leads the voltage. Two cases is there. Next to go through series RLC circuit, voltage and current equations. Here voltage equal to, we have already discussed, voltage equal to V equal to Vm sin omega t. V equal to Vm sin omega t. Then current I equal to I sin omega t plus or minus phi. So because plus or minus pi is because if L dominates, plus pi occurs. If C dominates, minus pi occurs. If L dominates, plus pi. If the positive sign is to be used when XC greater than XL, that means plus pi when the condition satisfies XC greater than XL. So C value greater, XC greater than XL, then plus pi, we give the plus pi symbol. If negative sign is to be used when XL greater than XC, negative sign is to be used when XL greater than XC, that is minus pi is the condition satisfied XL greater than XC. Next one, we want to discuss about power. We have already proved that the power in AC circuit is consumed only in resistor. We know inductor and capacitor does not consume the energy, it stores the energy. Only power is consumed by resistor only, whereas in case of pure inductor and capacitor do not consume any power. We know capacitor and inductor do not consume any power, but it stores the energy in the form of electric field and magnetic field. Then here power P average equal power P average equal to I square R. The basic formula I square R equal to I into R. Here I equal to V by Z from basic Ohm's law into I into R. Vi into R by Z, that equal to cos pi equal to R by Z. From the impedance triangle, cos pi equal to R by Z. P average equal to Vi cos pi. P average equal to Vi cos. This is the average power. Here cos pi equal to R by Z is called the power factor of the series RLC circuit. Cos pi equal to R by Z is called the power factor of the series RLC circuit. Next one, here this is the basics equations, basic formulas for series RLC circuit. Here we find impedance, and current. So here basically we remember some points, that is, when here there is a 3 cases in series RLC circuit. Here Z is equal to root of R square plus XL minus XC whole square. Here phase is lagging or leading. When XL minus XC is positive, that is XL greater than XC, the phase angle pi is positive and the circuit will be inductive. In this case, the circuit current I will lag behind the applied voltage V by pi, that equal to pi equal to tan inverse XL minus XC by R. Case 2, when XL minus XC is negative, that is XC greater than XL, the phase angle pi is negative and the circuit is capacitive. In this case, the circuit current I leads the applied voltage V by pi. Here pi equal to tan inverse minus XL minus XC by R. This is a case 2. In case 3, when XL minus XC is 0, that is equal XL equal XC. The circuit is purely resistive. In this case, the current I and applied voltage V will be in phase. That is called pi equal to 0. Then power factor cos pi equal to cos 0, that equal to 1. So here 3 cases. One is the circuit is inductive when XL minus XC greater than XC. The circuit is capacitive when XC greater than XL. The circuit is purely resistive. 3 cases when XC equal to XL. Inductive, capacitive or resistive. Some more points here remember is a very important point. Again we repeated, the applied voltage in series RLC circuit, the applied voltage is V equal to root of VR square plus VL minus VC whole square, that is XL greater than XC. Impedance equal to Z equal to root of R square plus XL minus XC whole square. Next, the circuit current I equal to V by Z. Phase angle pi equal to tan inverse XL minus XC by R, that is called cos inverse R by Z. V equal to current and voltage equations, V equal to Vm sin omega t and I equal to Im sin omega t plus or minus phi. The average power consumed P average is equal to Vi cos pi. The power factor equal to cos pi equal to R by Z. These are different formulas. Next one, we discuss about in this lecture. Next topic is Kirchhoff laws. We know this is a very important in problem solving. Basically we use Ohm's law and Kirchhoff's law, then we solve the circuit problems. Kirchhoff laws are two types. one is Kirchhoff current law and another one is Kirchhoff's voltage law. Kirchhoff's current law and Kirchhoff's voltage law. What is mean by Kirchhoff's current law? Kirchhoff's current law or KCL. Kirchhoff's current law or KCL state that the total current or charge entering into a junction or node is exactly equal to the charge leaving the nodes, as it has no other place to go except to leave, as no charge is lost within the node. In other words, the algebraic sum of all the currents entering and leaving a node must be equal to 0. That equal to I existing plus I entering equal to I exiting plus I entering equal to 0. This idea by Kirchhoff is commonly known as conservation of charge. Here we will discuss briefly what is meant by Kirchhoff law. Briefly, the entering current is equal to leaving currents. The entering currents is equal to leaving currents, or algebraic sum of currents at any node equal to 0. At any node equal to 0. If we take one example here, node, there is a node in the diagram. Here currents I1 entering, I2 entering and I3 also entering, but I5 and I4 are leaving from node. According to Kirchhoff's law, entering currents equal to leaving currents. I1, I2, I3 are entering, I4, I5 are leaving. So we assume that I1, I2, I3 are place, entering is equal place. We assume negative also, it is your choice. If we assume I1 plus I2 plus I3, then leaving currents is equal I4 and I5. That is equal I1 plus I2 plus I3 minus I4 minus I5 equal to 0. Or in other form, I1 plus I2 plus I3 equal to I4 plus I5. So leaving current equal to entering currents, or algebraic sum of all the currents equal to 0. This is the Kirchhoff law, very very important. Mostly Kirchhoff law used in mostly Kirchhoff law used in parallel combination. So in parallel combination, there is a node exist. In series combination, there is loop exist. So in parallel combination, there is a node exist. Then we apply the Kirchhoff law at the node. So at that point, entering currents is equal to leaving currents. So this is the basic definition of Kirchhoff's law, and one of the example we showed in the diagram. Next one, Kirchhoff's voltage law. What is meant by Kirchhoff's voltage law? Kirchhoff's voltage law or KVL state that in any closed loop network, the total voltage around the loop is equal to the sum of all the voltage drops within the same loop which is also equal to 0. In other words, the algebraic sum of all voltages within the loop must be equal to 0. So this idea by Kirchhoff is known as conservation of energy. Simply, in Kirchhoff current law is exist at node, Kirchhoff voltage law is exist at loop. Simply, the sum of the voltages in any closed loop is equal to 0. The algebraic sum of all the voltages at any closed loop equal to 0. In other words, in any closed loop network, the total voltage around the loop is equal to the sum of voltage drops and sum of the supply voltage. Here supply voltage is equal to receiving voltages. So this is known as Kirchhoff voltage law. This is the one example of Kirchhoff voltage law. Here ABCD is a loop. ABCD is a loop. Then in this loop is a closed path. The loop is a closed path. So sum of the voltage around a closed loop is equal to 0. That equal to here, if we assume VAB voltage, VBC voltage, VCD voltage, next VDA voltage. Here the path is your choice, either clockwise direction, either anti-clockwise direction. If clockwise direction takes, then all voltages are taken clockwise direction only. If we take anti-clockwise direction, all the voltages in the loop we take anti-clockwise direction only. So that is your choice. So but sum of the voltages VAB plus VBC plus VCD plus VDA equal to 0. Here the sign entering current in the resistor we take entering current. When entering the current we take the plus and minus sign. Leaving the current we take the minus and plus sign. In this way we apply the Kirchhoff voltage law in any circuit. Next one, here some of the common DC terms, DC circuit theory terms, that is what is mean by circuit, what is mean by path, what is mean by node, branch, loop, mesh. This is very important for when we take any problem. This terms is very important. First, what is mean by circuit? What is mean by circuit? A circuit is a closed loop. A circuit is a closed loop conducting path in which an electric current flows. Next, path. What is mean by path? A single line of connecting elements of sources. Here circuit is a closed loop or closed path, but path means a single line connecting elements or sources. If you connect any two elements, if you take any two resistors, two inductors or two capacitors, if we connected, that is called path. Path is in circuit there is a many paths. Next, node. A node is a junction, connection or terminal with a circuit where two or more circuit elements are connected or joined together, giving a connection point between two or more branches. A node indicated by dot. Here node, it connects many elements, 2 elements, 3 elements or 4 elements at one place. So there is a path. The paths are connected at one dot or one place, that is called node. So there is a simple node, there is a principal node. Here simple node means it connects two elements only. This connect two elements only, but a principal node it connects two or more elements. that is called node. Next one, branch. What is mean by branch? A branch is a single or group of components, such resistors or sources which are connected between two nodes. There is a node, simple nodes, two nodes, two simple nodes, then there is a element, that is a resistor, inductor, or capacitor, then that is called branch. The component itself is called a branch. So in branch there is a resistor, there is a capacitor, there is a inductor, there is a voltage source, any of them, that is called branch. Next, there is a loop. A loop is a simple closed path. A loop is a simple closed path in a circuit in which no circuit element or node is encountered more than once. So loop is a simple closed path. Simple means is a closed path. There is no break. It's a closed path. And closed path in a circuit in which no circuit element or node is encountered more than once. So loop is a simple closed path in circuit in which no circuit element or node is encountered more than once. Next, to go through mesh. A mesh is a single closed loop series path that does not contain any other paths. There are no loops inside mesh. So here mesh is single path. Mesh is there is no loops inside mesh. So if you take loop, it is any closed path. Inside there is any meshes. Loop have the meshes, but mesh have the no loops. Here means mesh contains no loops, but loop contain mesh. Loop is any closed path. Loop is any closed path. So these very very important terms, that is means circuit, path, node, branch, loop, mesh. Here sometimes we know nodal analysis, then we compulsory know what is node. Then we go to loop analysis, mesh analysis, then we compulsory know what is loop and what is mesh. So these are very important terms. Next we go to the graph theory. Graph theory is in network topology. This is one of the topic, that is graph. What is mean by graph? What is mean by graph? Graph of a network. Graph of a network. The graph of a network or network graph is the skeleton of a given network. All the elements of the network are replaced by lines with small circles at the nodes. The diagram that uses lines with dots at the ends to represent network elements is usually called the graph of a network. Simply, any network, we take any network, simply we draw the only lines. We draw the only lines. That means any element is inductor is there, capacitor is there. We represent with, those are represented with lines with the nodes represented with the dots. The branched with represented with the lines, the nodes represented with the dots. Then it is called the graph of a network. Graph of a network. We simply take one example here. Here this is a one network. It contains voltage sources V1, V2 and current source I1. Next the resistances R2, R3, R4, R1 and the inductance L1 and capacitor C1. This contains many elements and many branches. Here the nodes, we know the nodes are represented with the dots. The nodes are represented with the dots. Here what is the nodes? A, B, C, D. These A, B, C, D are called nodes. A, B, C, D are called nodes. These are simple nodes or principal nodes, any nodes. Then A, B, C, D are represented with the dots. First we represent with the dots. Then A to here A to B there is a R3 element. This is represented with one line. Again B to C resistor R4. This is represented with one line. Next one A to D there is a R1 in combination with the V1. This is a voltage source. It's have the internal resistance R1. Voltage source internal. It's have the internal resistance R1. In graph theory, any voltage source we represent with a short circuit. Any current source we represent with a open circuit. This is very, very important. In graph theory, any voltage source we represent with the short circuit, or any current source we represent with the open circuit. Here V1 is there, so V1 is short circuit, but there is a resistor R1. So this gives one line, that is A to D, one line is there. So again B to D inductor is there, B to D one line, we draw the one line, and C to D the capacitor, then we draw the one line. Again here very, very important, C to D is one current source is there. Here C to D is no line because there is no internal resistance, there is no resistance across the C to D, or resistance or capacitor or inductor, any one. So here we know the current source represented with a open source. If it has internal resistance, then there is a line draw between C and D. There is no internal resistance, then there is no line. C to D there is no line. So here there is a 4 nodes A, B, C, D, and there is a 6 branches. 4 nodes, 6 branches. 4 nodes, 6 branches. So this is the graph of network. In graph theory, we solve the many equations. In graph theory, we solve the many equations. Next one, there is a 2 types of graphs. There is a 2 types of graphs: oriented graph, unoriented graph. Unoriented graph, unoriented graph. Oriented graph is a graph in which the orientations of the branches are known. The orientations of The orientation of the branches are known in the given network and the same as transferred to on the graph. The oriented graph is also called directed graph. Oriented graph means if you take any graph, there is a current directions, voltage reference, plus minus signals, and current directions in the graph, in the circuit only. Exactly the orientation, if the positive direction or negative direction or clockwise direction, anti-clockwise direction, any direction, we exactly represent on the graph, then that is called oriented graph. Oriented or directed graph. Oriented or directed graph. There is another type, unoriented graph. Unoriented graph means when the directions of the currents are not given in the network and the graph is without such orientations, such a graph is called unoriented graph. So in the network there is no current directions. If they given any given network, there is no directions in the current, then we don't represent in the graph, then that is called unoriented graph. So these oriented graph and unoriented graph is two types in graph theory. So this is the basic concept in network topology. So here we using network topology or graph theory, we solve the problems. This is the one concept when we solving the problems. In this we use tie set, cut set matrix. Using tie set and cut set matrix, we find the voltages and currents in each branch. So this is very important in solving the problems. So this is basic concept of network topology. One topic is graph theory. So till now we discuss about RLC, series circuit, and basic Kirchhoff laws. Some of the Kirchhoff laws. In Kirchhoff laws we discuss about Kirchhoff current law and Kirchhoff voltage law, and some basic definitions in circuit theory like node, mesh, what is path, what is branch. So some we discuss about some basic definitions, and also we discuss about graph of the network and types of graphs. So thank you very much.